Happy 4th of July from Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, where we're about ready to have the All-Star game between the team Kino and team Sonora. They are the teams that have been selected here as All-Stars for the 2019 season. And we have a bunch of them. We're going to have 4 umpires out there, and we have the stadium filled with people, and it will continue to fill up through the afternoon and early evening as we will have an all-star fireworks show here after our 7-inning game. We're starting a little bit early, 6:30 tonight rather than 7 o'clock, and the game that we'll be having is only 7 innings rather than the typical 9. The idea is to showcase the players that have done well here in the early part of the 2019 season, and they have been introduced here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. We'll take a quick peek at what happened on the Monday games because we did not have a Tuesday game here in the stadium. So if you were kind of looking to that to find out what's going on, we'll bring you up to date. July 1st, it was the team Tucson Champs 8-4 over the Cochise Stars. Team Tucson 8-5 over the Rincon Knights. And BNL Rockets 6 and the Old Pueblo Kings 1. Then the games last night, night before last rather, in the outlying fields here, the South Fields at the complex that once housed spring training for Major League Baseball. It was the Aztecs 9 and Team Tucson 4, and the Cochise Stars rebounded with a 9-1 victory over the BNL Rockets. Just for interest's sake, let's look at the standings for the Sun Belt College League. The Aztecs are on top, 16-4, and their manager is managing the team down the right field. Check that, down the right field line. That would be Team Kino, and Mike Odom is their manager tonight. His team 16-4 on the season, and he won the honor of coaching one of the All-Star teams tonight. In second place, the BNL Rockets, 2 games behind, and then 1 game behind them are the Cochise Stars at 13-7. Then we have a little drop-off to the 4th and final playoff position. That will be Team Tucson, and they are 5.5 games out, and their record is 10-9. The Tucson Champs are 7-13. They are in 5th spot. They are going to be 3.5 games out of the final playoff spot with 4 games to go, so they have quite a mountain to climb to be able to get into that 4th and final spot. The Old Pueblo Kings are 5-15 and 11 games out, and the Rincon Knights are 4-15 and they are 11.5 games out. Every team has 4 games left to play as the team Sonora takes to the field here, and we'll give you the defensive alignment. At first base is Alex Acevedo. At second base, Nate Baez. At shortstop, Jorge Bajorquez. At third base, Luis Morales. In left field is Luis Zamorano. In center field, Matthew Hackman. In right field, Parker Collette. Behind the plate is Kiko Romero. And on the mound is number 1, Adam Moraga. Then looking at the starting lineups here offensively, we will see Jacob Hakami at second base leading off. Sean Hahn in left field. In second spot, the third batter will be Angel Ochoa. He's at shortstop tonight. A.J. Ram in center field. They'll be followed by Alvarado Barnett at third base. Daniel Gonzalez will be in right field. Joseph Escasiga will be at first base. Andres Mendoza behind the plate. Derek Calvillo will be the designated hitter, and Jake Lialos will be the extra hitter. Now, the way this system is going to work tonight is they are going to keep right on going down the order. So the defensive positions that I gave you will start for the first 3 or 4 innings, and then we'll go to another set of players that will come out and play defense. But if 11 batters come to the plate here in the top of the first inning, we'll go to Ivan Gallego, Cameron Kroger, Gilbert Valenzuela, Alex Bustamante, Marcos Mendez, Christopher Dunn, Saul Escariga, and Robert Valenzuela before we go to the top of the order. So here we go. First pitch from Adam Moraga. And the first pitch is a ball to Jacob Hakomi. Next pitch swinging is a strike, 1-1. Beautiful day today in Tucson, Arizona, albeit rather warm, 104. This one fouled off and will go to a 1-2 count. We have a full complement of umpires here tonight, and we will get to who they are in just a second. On the mound, Adam Moraga. This one hit left side, and it's going to get into the corner. And down over to get it is Zamorano, and a leadoff double will put Jacob Hakomi on second base with nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Sean Hahn will be stepping in. Sean Hahn on his season here in the stadium, and those are the only statistics that we have right now. Sean is batting .355. He is 4 for 9 in 2 games against the Kings this year. They were his best stretch. First pitch for Sean fouled off to the right side. Look back at second to the plate. This is a bouncer out to Baez at second. The runner will move over to third, and the first out of the top of the first inning is recorded from the second baseman, Baez, to the first baseman, Acevedo, but the runner does move over to third base. So a runner on third, 1 out here on the top of the first inning. Angel Ochoa will be the batter. Angel is the shortstop tonight for Team Kino, the visiting team. Big swing and a miss. Sean Hahn, as I mentioned, the hitter up there is Angel Ochoa. Angel batting .361. Fouled at the plate, actually whistled over towards the Team Kino dugout and shook the troops up a little bit there. Nobody injured. Angel was 5 for 10 in the last 2 stadium at-bats, so he is on a hot streak here in the stadium. We have electronic scores in each of the game sites, but unfortunately, as you well know, electronics are wonderful until they don't work. The scoring is working just fine, but the accumulation of statistics has been a bit challenging, and so we have to go with just what we've seen in front of us here. The right side of the infield is in the sun and will remain that way until about 7:15 or so. Pitch outside and the count will go to 2-2. So Acevedo at first, Nate Baez at second, and Parker Collette out in right field are going to have to battle the sun as we progress through the first half of this game. Outside, nice job by Romero moving over and keeping the ball in front of him. And we will go to a 3-2 count. A double and an infield out has put a runner on third. 3-2 count to Angel Ochoa. At the set, to the plate, outside, first walk. We are probably going to have a new pitcher every inning. Exhibition games and all-star games are an absolute nightmare when you come to keeping a scoring book, so we'll try to keep up with this. A.J. Ram is the center fielder. He is from the Team Aztecs. Once again, down in the dirt, and the runner goes to second base. The throw to second gets him. Nice job by Romero keeping the ball out in front of him. Little hesitation on the part of Angel Ochoa taking off from first base. So that records the second out, and the infield can move back and relax a little bit. The pitch to Ram was a ball. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Adam Moraga is on the mound. One pitch. Outside corner for a called strike. And it's a third strike. And out there. So the third out of the inning. Nothing across here in the first inning. And we have coming up to bat will be Team Sonora with no runs across, however, one hit in the inning. How does this sound at O'Reilly Chevrolet? Newer car, lower payments. O'Reilly Chevrolet has car financing experts who can help you do just that. What can you lose? Just call O'Reilly Chevrolet and see what they can do for you. Oh, here's a better idea. Stop by O'Reilly Chevrolet at 6160 East Broadway and find out firsthand. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. There will be some dead times here when we don't have anything going on, and the reason for it is don't want to have the music going out. They have YouTube has this copyright caption without regard to the fact that the stadium has paid rights every time we get a little music on, so that's why there's going to be deadness. The first batter, Luis Zamorano, he's in left field tonight for Team Sonora. Fouls it off to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. Luis from Pima Community College, a graduate of Tucson High School. And Luis, in his appearances here in the stadium, batting .318. Fouled off and will go to a full count. Luis was 3 for 4 and dazzled with the glove in his last stadium appearance. And Luis plays for the Tucson Champs. As I mentioned, the right side of the infield and right field will have to battle the sun here. Oh, swung at a one way outside and missed it. So that is the first strikeout. The pitcher is Mason Millette. And like I said, we'll probably have a new pitcher every inning so that everybody can have an opportunity to be on display. Matthew Hackman will be the next hitter in the lineup. As you note from the left side, he had a stadium night against the Knights, 3 for 5 in one of those games. This one whacked foul down the right field side. So leading off with a strike with a foul ball. Matt batting .423 in his stadium appearances. He also is of Pima Community College and graduated from nearby Empire High School down in the Vail District. The pitch is missed for a ball, and 1 ball and 1 strike. The infield, Barnett at third, Ochoa is short, Hakami at second, and Escariga at first base. Ball 2, 2-1. Behind the plate is Andres Mendoza. Looking in the outfield, Sean Hahn in left, A.J. Ram in center, and Daniel Gonzalez is in right. 2 balls and 1 strike. Big swing and a miss. And once again, Mason Millette has his hitter with a 2-2 count. The last time 2-2, Luis Zamorano swung at an outside pitch and missed it for a strikeout. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning, nothing across in the top of the first. This is Team Sonora down low, and we'll go to a full count. Behind the plate, the umpire is Charles Lujan. At first base, David Trinidad. Second base, John Gross. And at third base, Mike Depew. So we have a full complement of umpires. Normally, in the regular season, we only have 2. But a special night tonight, the All-Star game. This one swung on and missed. Gets away from the catcher, throws down to first base, and does not come up with it, as it was a poor throw from the catcher. So it's going to be a strikeout, and I would suspect possibly E2. Don't know if they're going to get too particular about how the errors and everything else are accounted for. But all of that aside, 1 out and a runner on first. Kiko Romero steps in. Kiko is from Central Arizona University, a graduate of Canyon de Oro. Looks at the first pitch as a ball. Central Arizona is that college up in Casa Grande, Arizona, which is about 50 miles north of Tucson. Kiko in his stadium appearances, .444. At the set, 1-0, runner on first. Decent lead, but not outrageous. The runner goes. The throw down to second base, not in time, and he steals it. The pitch was called a strike. Don't know if it was a hit and run or a straight steal, but without regard to which it was, on second base in scoring position is Matthew Hackman. Kiko was named Player of the Week, going 7 for 7 in 2 games here in the stadium. Really was on fire for a couple of games in a row. Inside, and the count goes out to 2-1. Very, very large crowd here tonight. This one promoted heavily by Pima County. This is their facility, and they put on one outstanding fireworks show after the game was over. The game only 7 innings, big swing and a miss. And once again, we will go to a 2-2 count. 2-2 on Luis Zamorano, the leadoff hitter, struck out. 2-2 actually went to 3-2 to Matthew Hackman. He struck out, but the ball got away from the catcher, and the throw to first base was offline, and that's how we got our runner on. 2-2 count. Off-speed pitch just misses outside, and for the second batter in a row, Mason Millette has gone full. First base is open. Nobody scored in the top of the first. We're in the bottom of the first inning. At the set is Millette. Look back at second, comes to the plate. Swung on and missed. That will be now the 3rd strikeout in a row. Only 2 of them resulted in keeping someone off the bases. And that will bring up Alex Acevedo. Alex is playing first base tonight. Alex in his stadium appearances, .469. High and inside for a ball. Alec was 6 for 12 in 2 consecutive appearances here in the stadium. So he's had a couple of hot nights here. He is expecting to go to Yavapai Community College. Of course, that's over in Prescott, Arizona. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Now, Alec is one of the many players who are just graduated from high school. They're eligible to play here in the Sun Belt College League. He is a 2019 graduate of Nogales High School. To the plate, 1-1. Foul, right side, and will come back and do it again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The on-deck hitter is Preston Clifford. Clifford is the extra hitter. So normally in these lineups we have 10. You can have 9 if you only want 9, but there'll be 10 in the lineup. There's a designated hitter and an extra hitter. Mendez sets up on the outside part of the plate. The ball kind of goes there but drops down low, and Alec Acevedo will be standing in there as the 4th hitter in the lineup with a 2-2 count, first base open and 2 outs. Runner in scoring position, Matthew Hackman. 2-2. Pounded down towards third. Coming up is Barnett, and he gets over to first base with the out, and that will end the inning. So as in the top of the first, here in the bottom of the first, even though there were base runners on, nobody got in, and the score after 1 full inning of play is 0-0. The top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With the Stop and Go Driving School expert teachers, you will be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driver education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. To the top of the second inning, and we will try to check and see who the new pitcher is here. Number 5, first pitch swinging for the batter, Alvarado Barnett, and the ball goes out of play for a strike. Set and to the plate. This one fouled straight back to us. If I had a net, I could grab it. Well, it hits off of the aluminum shading that they have there, and the count goes 0-2. Well, the only 5 that I have for Sonora swung on outside and missed. So that will be a first out here in the top of the second inning, but it will be the 4th strikeout. Well, scheduled after Mason Millette was Michael Romero. So Michael Romero is on the mound right now. First pitch to Daniel Gonzalez, the right fielder. is a ball, 1-0. Second pitch, a called strike. One pitch, misses inside, 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Breaking pitch, swung on and missed. So Michael Romero doing a nice job of getting through the order here. Well, I tell you what, this is really tough on the hitters, having a new pitcher every time you come up to bat. Another breaking pitch, swung on and missed for a strikeout, and that will be the 5th strikeout so far. I'm not going to keep track of individual players or individual pitchers, but this is the 2nd strikeout for the pitcher in there right now, Michael Romero. That brings up Joseph Escariga. He's the first baseman, and the first pitch that he looks at for Team Kino is a ball. One-0, fires one and misses outside. 1-1. This one fouled off to the right side, and we'll go 1-2. Inside misses, and we'll go 2-2. Escarilla, in his appearances here in the stadium, 294 on the season, 10 for 34. He did have one game, 1 week. This one is really belted, and it is going to go off the wall, and it's going to be downtown. No, they're coming off the wall. Apparently it didn't quite make it, and it was a long, long double. The contact immediately drew a "oh" from the crowd, and I thought that it had carried, but apparently it hit right across the top of the wall. We don't have any kind of instant replay, so that's where we stand on it right now. Joseph from New Mexico Highlands. He was a graduate of Sunnyside High School. With a runner in scoring position, that will bring up Anders Mendez. Mendez looks at the first pitch to him outside for a ball. We've got nothing on the scoreboard, although each team has had a runner in scoring position. Swung on and missed. Anders, 303 in his stadium appearances. He of Pima Community College, as many of the players in the league are. Breaking pitch, swung on and missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Anders graduated from Desert View High School, as the vast majority of the players in the league have some sort of direct connection with Tucson area. Just misses high, and the count will go 2-2. Derek Calvilla is the next hitter scheduled. He is the designated hitter, although we're just going to keep hitting around as we go through the roster. There's that breaking pitch, and boy, it caught the inside corner, and that was 3 up and 3 down. All 3 strikeouts here for the pitcher, Michael Romero. And at the top of the 2nd inning, nothing across. There was 1 hit, so there have been 2 hits given up. And at the end of 1.5 innings of play, it is Team Kino nothing and Team Sonora coming to bat. Come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They're the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. Now, one of their recent customers, John of Tucson, was nice enough to write in a letter, and in it was quoted that it was the most painless deal I have ever had buying a car. I would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value pricing and affordable vehicles, make sure you check out Goliath Auto Sales. To the bottom of the second inning we go with nothing on the board. Couple of opportunities with runners in scoring position and nothing happening. Preston Clifford will be the hitter. Swung on and hit directly to center field. A diving catch out there by Matt Hackman. Outstanding play by the center fielder. Got a little bit of a late jump on it, having trouble with the sun or coming out of the shadows to the sun. But he dove at it and got it first out of the inning. And that will bring up Nate Baez. Baez is the second baseman. Normally he plays shortstop when the leagues are in full swing in regular season. It is a called strike to Nate Baez. Baez is ticketed to head to Arizona State. This one bang right back up to the middle. Almost takes the pitcher's arm off. So that will be a base hit, and it will be the first base hit for Team Sonora. Parker Collette will step in now. Parker Collette, the right fielder tonight, with a runner on first and one out. First pitch to him is a called strike. Parker goes to Williston State College. That was in North Dakota, Williston, North Dakota. He is a graduate of Airy View High School. Airy View is in Las Vegas. So Parker is much traveled in his young life. One ball, one strike. Up and away. Kiko Romero, the catcher, took a long look at first base to see if he wanted to do something about throwing the ball down there. Outfielders were pretty much straight away. And medium depth, this one fouled at the plate, and the count will go to 2-2. Two inside will go full. Parker Collette coming into the stadium not doing all that particularly well, batting .233. He was 5 for 11, however, in his last 11 appearances. And the pitch is a ball, and we'll have two runners on. That will move Nate Baez around to second base. And that will bring up the shortstop for Team Sonora. This is Jorge Bajorquez. Bajorquez, a little bit stronger batting average here in the stadium, .368. Inside almost gave him a shave there. He has gone 2 for 4 in the last of his 2 of 3 appearances at the stadium. So he can be fairly consistent. Bajorquez attends Sacramento State University in Sacramento, California. This one banged right at the shortstop. Bajorquez grabs the ball. That is Ochoa grabbed the ball and got the double play. So a line out to 6 and then to 4 for a double play, and that will end the inning. In the inning, there was 1 hit and 1 walk. The first hit given up by Team Kino, and we will move to the bottom of the second inning, actually the top of the third, with nothing across for anybody. Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands that individuals face unique challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What goal do you have? Retirement preparation, college savings, estate strategy? Well, the personalized services of the Rincon Financial Group is standing by ready to focus on your needs, wants, and financial goals. To the top of the third inning with nothing on the board. Each team has had runners at second base and not been able to finish it off. First pitch to the designated hitter, Derek Cavillo. Swung on and fouled to the right side. On the mound right now is Tyler Gray. And as I mentioned, statistics lacking on a cumulative standpoint. This one lifted high to the right side, and without regard to Parker Collette giving it a big run, it will get into the stands on the right side. Couple of strikes now to the designated hitter. High and away for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Derek has had a fine offensive performance here in the stadium. He's batting .459, 4 of 5 stadium appearances. He has had multiple hit games. This one fouled off to the right side. It will make the stands. Derek is one of the young men from this area that very surprisingly is going to a cold weather high school, or college rather. The pitch is high, and for the 6th pitch of the at-bat, we'll have a 2-2 count. Derek goes to Hibbing Community College. He's a graduate of Canyon Del Oro High School, and Hibbing is in Minnesota as very, very cold. 7th pitch of the at-bat will come with a 3-2 count. Nobody on. First batter of the top of the third. This one lifted high and foul, but I don't think it'll make the stands. Back to look it over is Romero, and he gobbles it up for the pop out to the catcher. Jake Lialos will be the hitter now. He is the extra hitter in the league now. You can have either 9 or 10 players in the lineup. Sometimes when somebody goes out or you need to make a switch or whatever, they'll go with 9. We had a situation where a player was injured and they pulled him out and they just went with 9. This is a quasi-instructional league. First pitch is a called strike, which means that they invite college coaches to send their players to leagues like this. And, of course, the college coach wants to see what's going on. This is going to make the stands on the right side. Jake not particularly offensively positive in the stadium with a .222 batting average, but his forte has definitely been as a defensive catcher. This one fouled off to the screen. Jake goes to Pomona College. That's in Pomona, California. Down low, and we'll go to a 2-1 count. Excuse me, a 1-2 count. Jake graduated from Sabino High School in 2016. So I presume he's going in as a junior at Pomona College this year. This one popped into center field. A base hit. That will be the third base hit given up by Team Sonora pitchers. Tyler Gray currently in there. And if I am correct, this should be Ivan Gallego. It is, so they're just going to go through the lineup, everybody having a chance to hit. This is what would be considered the 11th batter in the lineup. And then halfway through, they're going to change defensively, which will be interesting. Pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. Gallego goes to Luna Community College. That is in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Well, I'm not sure whether, the home plate umpire called that a strike. I thought that he had waved towards the first base umpire, David Trinidad, to see his call, but David just stood there, so now Gallego is another one of our graduated high school seniors in 2019, a couple of months ago, May. Big swing fouled off, though, and Romero was unable to hang on to it. So the count will remain 0-2. Finally, the sun has gone behind the superstructure of the stadium here. So the right side of the infield and outfield no longer having to shade their eyes from the sun to see what's going on. 0-2, outside corner, and will take a called strike out. Second out of the inning. Runner is on first base, and that will bring up Cameron Kruger. Cameron plays for the Kings, and he is out of St. Michael's College, that is in Colchester, Vermont. We have 3 or 4 players sent to our league from Vermont this year. This one fouled off to the right side. Kruger, when they make the defensive changes, will come into left field and take over for Luis Zamorano, who was the 6th hitter in the lineup here. 2 outs, man on first base. We're in the top of the 3rd inning with nothing on the scoreboard, and the pitch misses outside. Kruger in the stadium is batting .313. Went 4 for 7 over a couple of games during 1 week. Pitch is high for a ball. 2-1 will be the count. The wind, which generally blows from left corner to right corner, can't seem to make up its mind which way it wants to go tonight. The center field flag swung on and missed. Even count. The center field flag is dancing towards the northeast, while the left field flag can't seem to decide whether it wants to go left corner to right corner or go the same direction as the center field flag. This one popped out into right field. Softly hit, so that'll allow the runner to go around to third base. So runners with 2 outs on first and third, with a base hit recorded by Cameron Kruger, and that will be the 4th base hit of the ball game for Team Kino. So once again, runners in scoring position. So we'll see with 2 outs if they can bring it across. Gilbert Valenzuela is the next hitter. First pitch swinging, gets it up in the air, but it looks like the center fielder Hackman has his designs on it, and he does gather it in for the 3rd out of the top of the 3rd inning. So we will finish up at 2.5 innings of play, still with nothing across. The Team Kino got 2 hits in this inning. That gives them 4, but still nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Your Jimmy John's restaurant locations in and around the Tucson area know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make your sandwich quickly and efficiently when you stop by one of their shops. You get the freshest breads, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every time. Stop by a store, or if it's more convenient, order online at jimmyjohns.com. 2.5 in the books, nothing across. We've got 4 base hits for Kino, only 1 for Sonora. This one fouled off to the right side by Luis Morales. Luis is playing third base tonight. And on the mound now is Angel Castillo. Angel plays for the Aztecs. They are the league leading team, a recent graduate of Sunnyside High School. And the second pitch drops a little bit low, and the count will go to 1-1. Morales batting a hefty 536, bounces one out to Hakami at second base, and that will be the first out of the bottom of the third inning. And we'll come up with Ricky Martinez. He is the designated hitter in the lineup. Ricky struggling just a little bit at the plate in the stadium. Now, that's not fair to these players because they play out in the south fields, and we've had a hard time first pitch swinging down to the third baseman Barnett, who gets it over to first, and quick like that, we have 2 outs. Second out of the inning. Fourth pitch of the inning by Angel Castillo. And we will go to the 11th hitter in the lineup. This is Sal Suazo. Sal will come in and play shortstop when it's time for a defensive change. But right now, they're just going through the entire lineup for each team on their offensive side. First pitch misses for a ball. Sal wears 21 on his back. Batting an even .500. This one hit down the right side, and drifting over to get it is the right fielder Daniel Gonzalez. And just like that, we have a 1-2-3 inning. And so there were 4, 5, 6 pitches in the inning. Boy, I want to tell you, that is the way to be efficient through an inning. And still, Team Sonora only has 1 base hit in the ball game, and there's nothing across for either team. The Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms and 2-room suites with an upscale contemporary decor. Guest room amenities include complimentary internet, refrigerator, coffee maker, and in-room safe. Watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat-screen TV, and many rooms have patio doors opening out to a tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay, Best Western Tucson International Hotel and Suites. We go to the top of the fourth, all scoreless, and another pitcher in. As we mentioned, because of the All-Star game, two things are happening. They're changing pitchers every inning, number one, and number two, every batter will be coming up. So Alex Bustamante is the hitter. First pitch to him is a ball, and on the mound right now is Marco Osuna. Osuna to Cochise Community College after graduating at Vista Grande this last May. And as you might know, Cochise Community College in Douglas, Arizona. Next pitch is high for a ball, and the count goes to 2-2. This one fouled off to the screen. 2 balls and a strike now. Alex Bustamante goes to New Mexico Military Institute. He's a graduate of Canyon del Oro and does a fine job of playing center field, which they expect that he will be in when they make their defensive changes. The count goes to 3-1 now. We are in the top of the fourth inning, nothing across, and I don't envy any of these hitters because lots of times the only time you begin to really hit somebody, this one blasted to left field. Going back is the left fielder, Samorano. It hits off the base of the fence. Going for second base is Alex Bustamante, and he's in there standing up. Didn't quite get all of it, but boy, hit it on a line shot right to the base of the fence at about 350. Haven't given you the configurations of Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, but down the lines it's 340. Straight away in right and left it's 375. In the alleys it's 390, and straight away it's 405. So a leadoff runner in scoring position here. As both teams have had runners in scoring position, first pitch to Marcus Mendez is down low for a ball. Every inning there has been a runner in scoring position for Team Kino, but they've been unable to get the critical base hit at the right time and still are 0 on the board, called strike 1-1. Marcus Mendez goes to Stephen F. Austin in Nacogdoches, Texas. I practiced on that so long. Oh, well. This one wrapped into right field. It'll get down. Over to pick it up is Parker Collette. And the runner at second base, Alex Bustamante, was not too sure that it was going to get down. And so he hesitated. So as far as he got was third base. So runners on first and third, nobody out. And hit number 6 tallied by Team Kino. And that will bring up Christopher Dunn, who, when they make their defensive changes, is expected to go into right field. So Marcos Osuna, who started off the inning as the fourth pitcher used by Team Sonora, is in trouble with runners on first and third. Big swing by Christopher Dunn and doesn't come up with it. 0-1. Chris Dunn in the stadium, 364, and he has been an error-free right fielder. He is not in defensively at this time. This one lifted foul to the left side, and the count will go to 0-2. Christopher Dunn goes to the University of Las Vegas, Nevada, or the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He went to high school up in Vegas, Bonanza High School, as a matter of fact. Runner from first goes, swung on, the throw down to second base. The runner comes home, the throw is high, and he's in there safe. Dunn strikes out on a called strike. The runner from first took off with the pitch. And with the throw down to second just a little offline there, it was picked up by Nate Baez. and he fired it home. And when he got the throw home, it was high, and the runner, Bustamante, slid around it and got in for the first run of the game, 1-0 in favor of Team Kino. Inside, Sal Escarilla, who will play first base when he goes into the ball game, is up there. He does play first base at Pima Community College, a recent graduate of Saharita High School. 1-0 to the plate. Big hit left side, up in the air. Shallow left field now. Over to grab it, and can't grab it in fair territory is Luz Samarano. And it'll just be a long strike. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 run in. Very high sky, and Samarano, I think, lost it in either the lights or the high sky. The lights have not taken over completely here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. At the set is Osuna. The pitch drops down low, and Escarilla will have a 2-1 count. A double, a single, a strikeout with everybody moving. 1 out here in the inning. We're in the top of the 4th. This one fouled back into the stands behind home plate, and the count will go 2-2. Apparently obstructed from my view. Somebody made a nice catch in the stands and got a rise from the folks here. We have a pretty much full house. The only area that does not have a lot of seating and that is occupied at the moment is down the right field line. But everything else seems pretty full. And, of course, as you can note, we see folks out on the grass in the outfield. 2-2 count. Swung on and missed, and a strikeout. Second out of the inning. Runner still in scoring position, and that will bring up Robert Valenzuela. Robert will come in as a catcher when he comes into the ball game. Robert goes to Friends University, is one of 4 players in from that university, which is in Wichita, Kansas. He graduated from Buena High School in Sierra Vista. To the plate, big, high, pop-up, shallow right field. Everybody converging on it. Somebody needs to call it, and as it turns out, it drops in between all of them. And, of course, with 2 outs, Marcus Mendez from second base could just motor on. He didn't care whether they caught it or not. And so the second run of the inning, this one is credited, run batted in to Robert Valenzuela. And there are 2 across here in the top of the 4th inning for Team Kino, and that will bring up the top of the order, Jacob Hakami. Hakami playing second base tonight, looks at the first pitch down and in for a ball. So Marco Osuna coming in to pitch here the top of the 4th inning, and 2 have come across. Double single, a double steal strikeout that did score 1 run. Another strikeout. The runner goes from first base. The throw down to second is late, and a stolen base. So the stolen base has been the key thing going on here in the top of the 4th inning as Robert Valenzuela gets over to second base, and that will keep a runner in scoring position. The pitch was a called strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. To the plate. This one lifted to the right side. Acevedo going back for it in foul territory, and he will gather it in for the 3rd out of the inning. However, 2 come across, and on the board, Team Kino leads it after 3.5 innings of play by a score of 2-0. Firestone Complete Auto Care is your go-to tire store in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires online or in store. There are 5 locations. Pick the one closest to you in the 2400 block of North First, 3501 East Broadway, 290 West Wetmore Road, 4800 block of East Sunrise, or the 7950 location on East Speedway. Anywhere that you go for Firestone Complete Auto Care, you will not be disappointed. Got some counters on the board, 2 of them in the top of the 4th inning. So Team Kino is leading in this 7-inning ball game by a score of 2-0. We're in the bottom of the 4th, and another pitcher comes out for Kino. This is J.C. Burkett. Burkett plays for the Knights, the Old Pueblo Knights, in the games that are played here in regular season. The first batter is Marco Osuna. So Osuna steps in there in the bottom of the 4th inning. Marco also from Cochise Community College, as I mentioned, in Douglas, Arizona, misses outside for a ball, and that will be a 2-0 count. Osuna just graduated from Vista Grande High School, and he plays for the BNL Rockets in the regular season. Just misses inside, and the count goes to 3-0. Marco batting .273. He did have one game that he was 2 for 3 here in the stadium, and it goes to 3-1. I think Osuna was a little annoyed that he was given the take sign there at 3-0. He's a very aggressive hitter. This one fouls off his right ankle. That'll draw a bruise. 3-2 will be the count, and we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. And we have a 2-0 score right now. The Team Kino, the visiting team, scored 2 in the top of the 4th. They got it on 3 base hits. They have 7 in the ball game, and the pitch is a little bit outside. So a first batter-up runner goes to first base in the form of Marcos Osuna. That will bring up Ryan Graybosch. Graybosch batting .321 in his appearances here in the stadium. He had a 2 for 3 game against the Tucson Champs a while back. He is another one of our players from Central Arizona, which is up in Casa Grande, and he just graduated from South Point High School. So he will be going to Central Arizona when things get started with the new school year in August. This one floats inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Aaron Gardner is the on-deck hitter. Graybosch, when he goes into the game defensively, will go in at first base, swung on, fouled into the stands on the right side. The crowd continues to grow here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium because the crowd is in high expectation of a 25 to 30 minute fireworks show put on by the Pima County, this whole complex under the direction of Maureen Ochoa. And boy, is she doing a fine job with this crowd tonight. Down low for a ball. Burkett a little upset at himself, slaps his glove after the pitch goes down low. Right fielder Daniel Gonzalez swung over to the right field line a little bit. So there's quite a hole in right center field. Full count now. A.J. Ram in center field is straight away and about halfway back, and Sean Hahn in left field about the same distance, maybe a couple of steps deeper than what would be considered a normal position. Lights beginning to take over here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. This one wrapped into left field. Hit hard enough that it'll probably only advance the runner one base. That is only the second hit given up by Kino pitchers tonight. So once again, a runner in scoring position. Sonora had a runner at second base in the first. They had one in the second, nothing in the third. Here in the fourth inning, they've got runners on first and second. And Aaron Gardner will come up. Like I said, that's only the second base hit for Team Sonora tonight. Gardner goes to Kansas Wesleyan. That is in Salina, Kansas. Big swing and doesn't get it. Looked like Burkett pulled the chain just a little bit. Took something off the fastball as Gardner was way out ahead of it. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sunbelt College League All-Star game to the shortstop. Going to third for one out. Ochoa grabs it and gets it over to Barnett and gets the lead runner. So the first out of the inning goes 6-5. Graybosch goes over to second base. And that will bring up Fabian Ferreira out of Pima College and Tucson High School. He is a catcher. They list two catchers that might be coming in, so obviously it's going to be one or the other, or maybe they'll split the last 2 or 3 innings. The first pitch to Fabian outside for a ball. Fabian, an outstanding defensive catcher, at least in the stadium, has had problems with his offense. Bangs it right up through the middle, a seeing eye base hit, and that'll score a run. Boy, it went right through the wickets of the pitcher Burkett and found its way into center field without regard to the fact that Jacob Hakimi at second base got dirty trying to go after it. So an RBI single for Ferreira. And that will bring up Raul Soto Romero with one run in here and one out in the bottom of the fourth. Swung on, missed. Strike one. Gardner stopped at second base. So they got one of the two back. This one high to right field and grabs it is Daniel Gonzalez. Throws to first base to try to double the runner off of first. But the throw goes wide and the runners will move up. So even though a nice catch in right field by Daniel Gonzalez, he will be credited with an error that moves the runners up. Nice thought. The runner at first, Ferreira, was quite a ways off the bag. But Gonzalez rushed his throw. Second out of the inning. 2 runners in scoring position, and that'll bring up Tyler Wiltshire. On the knees, off speed, called strike. Wiltshire Steady as a second baseman and a pitcher, looks at the next pitch as a ball outside, has only batted .194 in his appearances here at the stadium. Tyler, another one of the local students, inside for a ball that has gone to a cold weather area. He goes to Minot State, that is in Minot, North Dakota. And we have quite a few players that have gone north and northeast to play college ball. So I would imagine that takes some sort of adjustment. Outside, Mendoza does a fine job getting over and keeping the ball in front of him, thus keeping Aaron Gardner at third base on the bag, and avoids getting this thing tied up. 2-1 in favor of Kino over Sonora. We are in the bottom of the fourth inning of an all-star game that will go 7. Inside, and that will draw a walk. That's the third walk surrendered by Kino pitchers tonight, and that will load them up. We go to the top of the order. Luis Zamorano, who is in left field tonight, struck out swinging in the first inning. In the fourth, with 2, possibly 3 runners to pick up here, 2 outs, and J.C. Burkett trying to wriggle his way out of a problem, fouled right field side and into the stands. Really gratifying to see this number of people out here, and they're going to be treated to an outstanding fireworks show after the game as Kino County, or Pima County, is putting this one on, and it's a outstanding one. This one gets through Mendoza, and a run will score, and we're all tied up. So the pitch down low, Mendoza, after doing a great job just the pitch before, keeping the ball out in front of him, lets this one squirt through his legs, and it will count as a run, bring down Gardner from third, and we are all tied up here. Runners now on second and third. 1-1 count. High and away. 2-1. First base is open. All tied up. Drops down just low. And Burkett was not happy with the call. I'm not exactly sure what they will do if it is tied up after 7. Now in regular games here, this one outside corner for a call strike. In regular games here, they play 1 extra inning, and if it's tied up after that, that's the way it stays. Now there is a little bit of pressure here because a wonderful crowd here, but I doubt very seriously if they're all here for the baseball. Mendoza does an excellent job to get over and keep a ball outside in front of him. That will create a walk. It is the 4th walk given up by Team Kino pitchers. And that will bring up Matthew Hackman. Hackman struck out in the first inning, but the ball squirted away from Mendoza. By the time he recovered it, he threw wide to first base, and Hackman was on. Up and away for a ball. Hackman got to second base on a steal, but was left there after a strikeout and an infield out. This one catches the outside corner, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. The base is jammed. 2 outs here. Bottom of the 4th. This one lifted high and shallow to left field. Hahn coming in, and he will grab it, and that will be the final out of the inning. But 2 came across, and it's all tied up here after 4 full innings of play. It is 2-2, Team Kino and Team Sonora. When you want really good Tex-Mex cuisine, go to Chuy's Mesquite Broiler on East 22nd and Kalb. Chewy's knows what Southwestern tastes are all about, and they're there to satisfy. Chewy's on 22nd Street is open until 10 o'clock on weeknights and Sundays, until 11 on Fridays, and until midnight on Saturdays. Enjoy the food, decor, and drinks at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Kalb. First pitch from the new pitcher, Brandon Hance, is a ball. Brandon goes to Trinity University, that is in San Antonio, Texas. The first ball hit to the second baseman, and I'm sure we've made a complete change defensively. So that was Sean Hahn with the out to the second baseman, and we'll try desperately to catch up with who's who and what's what here. I believe the wholesale changes have gone on. That might have been Raul Soto Romero at second base, so we'll hope to pick that up as we move along. Angel Ochoa is up there. This one hit between first and second. Soto Romero can't catch up with it, and that will be a base hit for Team Kino. It is the 8th base hit that they have recorded here, and that will bring up A.J. Ram. Ram struck out in the first inning, swinging. So with one out, we have a runner on first. Ram in the stadium has a .419 batting average. This one lifted high to left field, dropping back, and now coming in is the left fielder. And I believe in left field, if we've kept up with those changes, well, that might be Samorano still, because in the replacements, they don't have anybody lifted for left field. So Ram flies out to the left fielder, whomever it is. Exhibition games and all-star games are a real joy, and we do not have any direct connection to the PA announcer. Alvarado Burnett is the batter. He was at third, may still be. He struck out swinging in the second inning. This one laced into right field, but catching it is the right fielder. And I'm going to guess that the right fielder now is Marcos Osuna, but I don't know for a fact. So just bear with me here, and we'll try to figure it all out. The upshot of it is that it is a 1-2-3 inning with the exception of that one base hit. So one base hit makes it 8 so far. Nothing across here in the top of the 5th inning. And after 4.5 innings of play, our score is tied up at 2-2. Elite Sporting Goods is a store specializing in equipment and uniforms for not only sports, but school uniforms as well. They also do company printing. Now, there's a full range of services, including silk screening, embroidery, heat press custom printing, banners, and much more. Elite Sporting Goods is over there on South Campbell at 3640. Stop by, call, or find them on the web. That is Elite Sporting Goods. Well, we go to the bottom of the fifth inning with another new pitcher on the mound. The first pitch that Eli Madrid of the Cochise Stars throws is a ball. The batter, number 4, Kiko Romero, the catcher. Big swing and tops it out towards first base, but it'll roll foul for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, whether Kiko comes out to catch the next inning or not is a moot, because Aaron Gardner and Fabian Faria are both listed as catchers in the second entourage. So bear with me. We're trying to figure it out as we go here. Ball down low and bounces away. 2-1. Romero struck out swinging in the first inning. Kiko has an outstanding offense, and this one blasted to the right center field corner, and it comes off the wall, but it is hit so hard it's just going to be a long single. Boy, did that thing get out of here awful quick. It didn't get out, unfortunately. Had it been elevated maybe another 5 feet, it just bounced off the wall to the left of the 340 sign in right field, but it was hit so hard that the right fielder, and I believe that might be out there now, Christopher Dunn, if they've made their wholesale changes like they said they were going to. Dunn just picked it up and fired it in. In fact, it might have been a close play if there'd have been enough arm that Dunn had. This one hit down to third base. It's going to be foul as the third baseman, Marcus Mendez, grabbed the ball right in foul territory for a strike to Alex Acevedo. Acevedo grounded out to Alvarado Barnett, who was in at third base at the time. We're in the fifth inning here, and they've made wholesale defensive changes, but they're still going through the batting order. Acevedo up at that with an 0-1 count. This one hit down to the third baseman. Fine play at third. To second for 1, back to first base for a double play. Marcus Mendez swallowed one up down there and went 5-4-3 double play, and that will end the threat, at least with 2 outs now and nobody on. That'll bring up Preston Clifford. He flew out to center field to the center fielder at the time, A.J. Ram, who made a marvelous play on it to get the out. Pitch down low for a ball. Pitcher's friend, the double play. This one hit hard, left field. Going back for it, the left fielder. And it's off the base of the wall. In for a stand-up double is the batter, Preston Clifford. So the tie-breaking run in the bottom of the fifth inning is out at second base. And we may get a courtesy runner here. See what the conversation is. Might have been some discussion to see whether that ball came off of the railing out there, which would have made it a home run. But that is not the case. The batter is Nate Baez. Baez with a base hit in the second inning. Off-speed pitch down low, blocked by Mendez. Going to third base in a hustle play is Preston Clifford. Little bit of a mental lapse there. And that gets the runner over to third. However, 2 outs here, so the sacrifice fly is not a concern at this time. 2-0 pitch to Baez. Fouled off to the right side, we'll go 2-1. Just outside, 3-1. First base is open, so you certainly don't want to give in to the hitter, especially to this hitter who literally is batting .500 here in the stadium. He's 9 for 18. This one lifted high to shallow left field. Coming in for it is the left fielder, and he has a bead on it. That is Cameron Kroger. So the threat is ended. And after 5 full innings of play, nothing across here in the bottom of the 5th, it is all tied up at 2-2. Yes, they call it Kino Sports Complex, but it's much more than just sports. Director Marina, I'll get it in a second, Marina Ochoa, she's going to kill me, and her great crew has successfully staged trade shows, corporate meetings, conferences, fundraising events, and private parties in and around the Kino Stadium site. So whether it's a sports activity or something else, give the Kino Sports Complex a call to find out how convenient and successful your event can be right here at the Kino Sports Complex, Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. For Team Kino, 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. And on the other side of the coin, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for Sonora. First pitch to Daniel Gonzalez is a called strike, and the new pitcher is Benjamin Teague. One ball and one strike. Gonzalez struck out swinging. That was back in the second inning, in which all 3 outs recorded by Tyler Gray in that inning were strikeouts. However, he gave up 1 double in that onslaught there. Boy, he got one right square in the middle of his back there. So a leadoff runner here for the Kino crew. This one only going 7 innings, so we're in the top of the 6th inning. And Joseph Escarilla is up there. He got a double in the 2nd inning, but that's as far as he got. Plenty of scoring opportunities here. First pitch is a ball. Can't see the catcher's number because that chest protector strap back there. This one pounded towards third and out of play. So it's either Gardner or Faria. They were going to make wholesale changes. Maybe they'll even split it up, not sure. Move to first, nothing there. Anders Mendoza will be the next hitter. He was one of the 3 strikeout victims in the 2nd inning. Fouled off to the screen. Count will go 1-2. Top of the 6th inning. All the scoring in the 4th inning. Kino got 2 in the top of the 4th, and Sonora came back with 2 in the bottom of the inning. In the regular season here, they play 1 inning of extra innings. And if it's tied up then, it's tied up. This one wrapped right back up the middle. Second baseman gets over there and grabs it. Slips and falls, but gets his hand over to touch on the bag. That is Soto Romero. So they got the lead runner on a pretty nice play, frankly, by Soto Romero. So unassisted put out at second base for the first out. And that will bring up Anders Mendoza. Mendoza batting .303, right back to the pitcher, to the second baseman, and we go 1-4-3, and that will end the inning. Top of the 6th inning, nothing across. After 5.5 innings of play, the score is all tied up at 2-2. Casal has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection since 1982. Casal Fire Protection Company services home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Casal has an extensive knowledge in fire protection and works hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Casal Fire Protection Company, first in quality, serving with pride. First batter here in the bottom of the sixth inning will be Parker Collette. He started things off in right field. Marcos Osuna is out there now, but Parker is at bat. This is his second at bat, first pitch called strike. He walked in the second inning. On the mound now is Alfredo Villa from the old Pueblo Kings. Off-speed pitch bounces down low and will go to 1-1. Bajorquez will follow, and then Luis Morales. Bajorquez hit into a double play, and Morales grounded out to second base. Outside, caught the corner, called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 innings is all we're going, and this is the 6th, all tied up at 2-2. Called strike looking. First out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Jorge Bajorquez coming up there. As I mentioned, Bajorquez lined into a double play to the then shortstop Angel Ochoa, who then got it over to Jacob Hakami for the second out. Pulled the string on that one, but missed inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Fouled back to the screen, 1-1. Had a thought, but it stayed down low, and it'll go 2-1. To the plate, 2-1, misses outside, 3-1. This one lifted high to the left side. Drifting over for it is the third baseman. That is Marcus Mendez. And he makes the grab, and we have 2 outs. Pop up to the third baseman for the second out of the inning. Luis Morales will be up there. Morales grounded out to second base in the third inning. Morales having a good way here in the stadium with a .536 batting average, 15 for 28 in the stadium. Inside and low for a ball. He went 10 for 16 in a 3-game stretch here in the stadium. So a dangerous hitter up there, but there are 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 6th inning. We're only going 7. Misses low and away. 2-0. Luis just graduated from Seneca High School in Cerro Vista, and he has not yet decided where he's going to go play college baseball. Hit him. So a 2-out runner on second base, and that will first base rather, and that'll bring up Ricky Martinez. Ricky grounded out to third base in his first time at bat. So Ricky stands in there, and we'll see if they move the runner to try to get him in scoring position here. Time is beginning to run out. Breaking pitch drops down low for a ball, 1-0. Crowd ever expanding here, as we are not fooling ourselves to think that all these people are out here for baseball. Hit him. So that does move a runner over into scoring position. And that will bring up Sal Suazo. Suazo batting an even .500 in the stadium. He's 4 for 8. He was 3 for 5 against the Knights here in the stadium. May have lost track of who's who and what's what here. Well, here we come out with a bat, and this appears to be, yeah, it is Sal. Okay, Sal Suazo steps in there. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that Sal is one of the young men reporting to military duty shortly after this, after the season. Big swing, comes right out of his shoes almost. Doesn't get it. Sal flew out to right field in the third inning. That was the only 1-2-3 inning for Team Sonora. However, they have only collected 5 hits in the ball game. Outside, down to second. Good strong throw by the catcher. And again, we cannot pick up numbers there. Well, that might be Robert Valenzuela. In fact, it is. Robert Valenzuela going for the runner at second base. The pitch was a strike. And Suazo, with a runner in scoring position, is down 0-2. Bottom of the 6th inning, all tied up at 2-2. Looking strike. And that will end the inning. So we have gone through 6 full innings of play, nothing across in the bottom of the 6th inning. And we go to the top of the 7th and final inning in this All-Star contest with the score tied up at 7. Check that, 2-2. How does this sound at O'Reilly Chevrolet? Newer car, lower payments. O'Reilly Chevrolet has car financing experts who can do just that for you. What else can you lose? Just call O'Reilly Chevrolet and see what they can do for you. Or hey, here's a better idea. Stop by O'Reilly Chevrolet at 6160 East Broadway and find out firsthand. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. New car, lower payments. Sounds like a deal. Come on, turn around. To the top of the 7th inning, it'll be Derek Cavillo, Jake Lalos, and Ivan Gallegos. The new pitcher is Trey Mesa. He plays for the B&L Rockets, and the first pitch from Trey is a ball high. Cavillo popped out to the catcher in the 3rd inning, his only at-bat. High for a ball. fouled off to the screen on the right side, and there was a bird sitting on the upper level of the screen. Now the ball hit about 3 feet below him, but really rattled him as the whole screen shook and got a rise from the crowd. 2 balls and a strike. Hit him. Well, we've had quite a few hit batsmen tonight. Most of the ones suffering the owies have been Team Sonora, but that'll put a runner on first, and boy, you sure don't want to start off an inning with a runner on. Jake Lalos got a base hit in the third, got all the way around to third base, but was unable to score. So the bunt may be on here, trying to get a run across here in the top of the 7th and final inning. High, right center field, fairly shallow. Everybody's over to take a look at it, and finally it is gathered in by the right fielder, Marcos Osuna. So just as soon as things look somewhat promising here, in the top of the 7th inning for Team Kino, they wind up with a runner on first and an out with no advance. Ivan Gallego struck out looking in the 3rd inning. And I'm still not exactly sure whether they're going to play one extra inning or not. Called strike. They said the fireworks would be starting around 9 o'clock. So with it not quite 8:30, it's a possibility that they'll go one more inning. In the regular season, they do that, high and away for a ball. And the count will even up at 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1 on in the top of the 7th inning. Trey Mesa on the mound. Off-speed pitch catches the letters for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cameron Kroger is the on-deck hitter. At the set, 2-1. Boy, that came close to hitting him. 2-2. Gallego kind of drew himself up and backed off. Kept away from being zonked. I realize that's a highly technical term, a baseball term. Well, maybe not. 2-2. Swung on in the dirt and missed. 2nd out. So a promising first batter up, getting on, has now turned into the runner on first and 2 outs with Cameron Kroger stepping in. Off-speed pitch drops in there for a called strike. Kroger waves at one down in the dirt and misses it. Cameron batting .313 in the stadium. Got a base hit his first time up. That was in the 3rd inning. He's up there with 2 strikes against him, 0-2, a runner on, and 2 outs. This one hit out towards the shortstop, who gobbles it up and gets it over to second base. The shortstop, Suazo, gets it to Soto Romero, and that will equal the last out of the inning. So they're going to call this the 7th inning stretch, even though we're only going 7 innings. Nothing came across here in the top of the 7th inning. So we go through 6.5, and we're all tied up at 2-2. The top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something that you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With the Stop and Go Driving School expert teachers, you'll be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driving education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. Top of the seventh, Marcos Osuna, who is in the right field right now, looks at the first pitch from the new pitcher, Shernick Sanborn of the Cochise Stars. First pitch, a ball. Second one, a strike. Marcos in the fourth inning, when all the runs were scored on both sides, this one hit hard, left field. Going back for it and grabbing it on a line shot was Cameron Kroger. So a line out to left field, first out of the inning. We still do not have any kind of information about whether we will be going an extra inning here or not. It may be that we just go to the seventh, or rather to 9 o'clock. To the plate, fouled off. This is Ryan Graybosch. Graybosch at first base. To the plate, off speed, down left field, and it'll get in there for a base hit. So a one-out runner on first base. That's only the sixth hit of the ball game for Team Sonora. Okay, we're coming up here with a runner on first base. And we'll see what they try to do with him here. Bottom of the seventh inning. We were scheduled for 7 only. However, they didn't. They said the fireworks probably wouldn't start until 9 o'clock. So they've got time to play one more inning, I'm sure. This one off the fists and dumped into right field for a base hit. That was soft enough that Graybosch will be able to get around to third, and the throw back to first base is not in time. So Aaron Gardner gets a base hit, and that sends Graybosch around to third, and we might not have to worry about that extra inning after all. Well, all kinds of things going on here. They've made a change at pitcher. This is Michael Corral. He is with the Aztecs in the regular season, and he plays for Pima Community College. At bat is Fabian Ferreira. He's the catcher. First pitch outside for a ball. The situation is the bottom of the 7th inning, and we were only planning to go 7. Not exactly sure what the future plans are if it's tied. 1 out and runners on first and third. Second pitch, a ball. So in a position to have a walk-off win here for Team Sonora. If that is in the cards, still have not gotten any information. This one lifted high left side and out of play. 2 balls and a strike here. Ferreira got an RBI single in the 4th inning. And that's when Team Sonora, after giving up 2 in the 4th, got themselves tied 2-2, and that's where we've stayed. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Michael Corral, a recent graduate of Tucson High School. This one fouled off to the right side, and it'll be all squared up at 2-2. Ferreira has not hit real well here in the stadium. 167 is his average coming in. This one lifted high to right field and camping underneath it. It may be deep enough to be able to score the run at home, and he does. And it is the Sonora team with the win. So a deep enough fly ball. Wasn't really that deep. But a deep fly ball out to right field gets a sacrifice in, and the runner from third is able to tag up and score. That was Ryan Graybosch. Actually, Graybosch really set things up here because the base hit by Aaron Gardner was really not that deep, and Graybosch was on his horse and went all the way around to third to put himself in a position with 1 out to be able to score on the sacrifice fly. Well, I tell you what, I need to ask a very simple question here. We had not anticipated that we would stay through the fireworks, and I noticed that we still have a fair number of people here viewing the webcast, and so I'm going to ask you straight up, and if you can respond on our chat line there, I'll kind of hang out here for a while. Let me know if you we're anticipating staying for the fireworks. And if we have several people that intended to do that, then we'll hang out here and go ahead and just shoot the fireworks. We can't have any sound on, unfortunately, because they're going to have music during the fireworks show. And I think I mentioned a couple of times that YouTube, when they archive stuff, have a app that listens to music, and if you are playing music, they will copyright you and stop everything that's going on, even though Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium via Kino Sports Complex has paid for rights to be able to play music. But apparently it's too much of a war between everybody and YouTube to be able to win that battle. So since they hear it on this webcast here, they have a tendency to shut things down. So if you would at this time, if you're going to be staying, please give me a chat, because I was going to take off. It's been a rather long day, but please don't let that influence your decision. If one of the reasons that you tuned in was to see the fireworks, then please let me know so that we can kind of stay here and watch the fireworks. They're getting it set up right now, and while you're deciding whether you're going to stay or go and communicating with me in one way, shape, or form, why we will recap what happened here as the Kino team, the visitors, had 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. 1 error, 2 runs, 8 hits, and an error. But the winning Sonoran team pushed one across in the bottom of the 7th inning as they came up with 3 runs on only 7 hits and no errors. So the final score after 7 was Sonora 3 and Kino 2. And the way things scored here was Kino struck first in the top of the 4th inning as the bottom of their order. Bustamante started things off with a double and then moved over to third when Marcus Mendez got a base hit. So there were runners on first and third with then 1 out on a strikeout, and Escarilla struck out. But Robert Valenzuela, the very last hitter in the, 10-18 player lineup there, got a base hit and brought around the second run. The first run basically scored on a double steal. Mendez took off from first and went to second. The throw went down to second base and was cut off a couple of feet in front of the bag. But very alertly, Alex Bustamante released and took off for home. The throw from second was a little bit high, and that scored the first run. The second one was scored on the RBI base hit by Valenzuela, and that's where we stood at 2-0, Kino's favor at the end of 3.5 innings. However, in the bottom of the 4th inning, once again at what would be considered the bottom of the order, the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th hitter in the lineup, the inning started off in a fine fashion for Sonora as Marcus Osuna got a walk, but he was thrown out at second base on a fine play after he went to second base on a base hit by Graybosch. So we had runners on first and second and nobody out, and a bounding ball was hit to the shortstop, who then threw to third base to get the lead runner, but that still left runners on first and second with only 1 out. The next batter, Fabian Ferreira, stepped in and got a base hit, and that drove in 1 run. And then the second run came in on a line out to right field, and there were the 2 runs in the 4th inning. And that's the way it stayed until the bottom of the 7th and final inning. It started off with the same group of batters hitting, and that started off with Marco Osuna. He lined out on a sharp line drive to left field. Then Ryan Graybosch got a base hit, and then Aaron Gardner got a base hit, and that drove Graybosch around to third, and that frankly made the difference. The hit by Aaron Gardner was not that hard and not that deep, but Graybosch really got on his horse, and on a relatively close play at third base, Graybosch was in there safely. So that set up runners on first and third with 1 out, and Fabian Ferreira, who got 2 RBIs and I guess would be considered the star of the game here, at least for Sonora, because of his 2 RBIs, a base hit, and then a fly out to right field. It was medium deep out there, but as it turned out, it was enough to get Ryan Graybosch home on a sacrifice fly, and that was the walk-off situation here. Sonora got 2 hits here in the 7th inning, and they wound up with 7. And once again, our final line score was Sonora 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors, with Team Kino 2 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. So going to take a second here to look and see what kind of response that we have. Let's see. Well, yes, I do have a camera that will do that. Let me see, check in with the boss and see what's going on here. So apparently we still have 23, 24 folks with us. I thank you so much for that. So I'm going to guess that just because you're still tuned in means that you would like to see the fireworks. So we are going to try to line it up and see what we can do about getting that to you. During that time, unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn the sound off because of that situation with the copyright situation with YouTube. I really back it up, quite frankly, because for many years I was a disc jockey on radio, and of course twice a year you had to log the music that you were playing, including the rights agency, either ASCAP or BMI. And as it turned out, I had a neighbor that was in the studio bands in the 1960s, and when they started paying off those ASCAP and BMI fees to the people that earned them by being on hit records, such as his name was Johnny Zorro. He was a backup musician along with Glenn Campbell and a guy named Davis that I can't remember, Mac Davis. And so he began to collect residuals. Well, that's very fine and well. And so that's exactly what stadium sites like Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium and many of the other entities, including radio, television, also the movies and so on and so forth, that pay rights to ASCAP and BMI to be able to utilize the music that rightfully has been presented. The unfortunate problem here is it's a little hard to fight through City Hall, so to speak. YouTube does so many of their things electronically. And we're going to start off the fireworks here, and let me see if I can get them set up for you.